So once you, let's say, have talked to customers, right? And the reason to get transcripts is you may, you'll have a team of people, and or even if you have talked to all 16 of them, right? Now when you want to share that what you learned with others, right? It's easier to have them read rather than just listen to the recordings, if you will. Okay, and this technique that we are going to discuss next is something invented by a Japanese anthropologist in the 1950s called Iro Kawatika. The technique is called KJ image, and once it was sort of taught here by the Center of Quality, and it's essentially called natural language processing. But the way the technique works is the following, right? The first is you got to define what is the problem area or the user base that you're going to work on. That is called the theme of the project, if you will. Okay. Next, you go and talk to customers. Okay. And then when you talk to customers, you're going to get a lot of pages and pages of transcripts, if you will. The second step is to have a cross-functional team, and typically we're talking team sizes like 5 to 8. Okay? And the key to that is not to have all people of the same function, like not all marketing people or not all engineering people, because you're, the view that you're going to have when you read the transcripts is all going to be the same, right? If you have all mechanical engineers, they will always look at what are the problems and solutions, if you will. So you need a cross-functional team to read through the transcripts, and what you do there is basically extract, like as you're reading, you sort of extract some phrases that the customer said, and that becomes, I mean, when you read that, an image crops to mind. For example, when we did this for vacuum cleaners, one of the things was this woman said, oh, this, usually I have to ask my husband to put stuff together. But on this one, this particular vacuum cleaner, it was so easy to assemble, I could do it myself, right? So when you read that, I mean, as a person reviewing it, I'm like, oh, the ease of, that was something she was thrilled with, that she didn't have to, get external help and could do it herself, right? So when you read the transcripts, this is what we mean by images. So you're capturing the original sort of words that the customer used, and you're trying to now get what is the essence behind that, okay? So when you do one of these exercises, you will probably have like 200 to 400 images. And all these images are sort of stuck in the world, but on the wall, but 200, 400 is like too many to work with, okay? So then what step 3, your cross-functional team does is they actually put dots on them and select what is more important. So 2 dots means we had to go through 2 rounds of voting, but ultimately you want there to be something like 20, 25 images. So out of all the 400 images that your team collected, you're trying to now reduce it to something like 20, 25, which becomes more manageable. Okay? Obviously, these images that the team has voted on are the more important ones. There's no point having duplicates of the same thing being told many times. Okay? Step 4 is now to take these images and sort of group them around theme, like things that are similar. On a phone, there might be a frustration expressed about, my phone doesn't last all day long. Okay? Or the other customer might have said something like, I have trouble finding places to charge my phone. But both of these things are essentially talking about, let's say, battery life of the phone. So you would group similar images, and the title would be that insufficient battery life. So that is the 4th step, where we are grouping these images to form similar sort of ideas, if you will. Okay? And the last step is, are there any relationship between them? For example, it could be that the logic or the let's say the cellular chip that you're using is communicating with the cell towers a lot, and it's using up your battery life. Okay, and that would be the last step in sort of trying to find the relationship between these groups, and then ultimately you will get a idea of what is the use environment that you're working in. Not only that, and one of these would be, if you see one where the images are a lot of complaints, that is probably an area where you would want to improve your product.